My name is Thomas O'Malley. I'm an experienced family lawyer in Durham Region and the GTA. Do you have to pay money for your kids in addition to child support? And how much? A few months ago, Bogdan wanted to place his son, Greg, in an expensive private school. Greg was 5 years old, and he was going into senior kindergarten. He lives with both parents on an equal basis, or an equal amount of time for each parent. Unfortunately, Greg has some serious behavior issues. That's why his father wanted to put him in a private school that had the supports in place to help his son overcome his behavioral issues. However, the cost for Greg to attend the private school was $21,925 for 1 year alone. The mother opposed putting Greg into the private school for a number of reasons, especially as a result of the expensive tuition for the private school. One thing that parents can learn from Bogdan's situation with his son, Greg, but before I explain what parents can learn, let me point out that parents have an obligation to pay for additional costs for their kids for expenses for items such as sports activities and other extracurricular activities. These additional costs are called extraordinary expenses under the Ontario Child Support Guidelines. In fact, the Ontario Child Support Guidelines state that extraordinary expenses include expenses for primary or secondary school education or for any other educational programs that meet the child's particular needs. The expense must be necessary with respect to the child's best interests and reasonable in relation to the means of the parents and their spending patterns before or prior to their separation. Parents normally pay a proportionate amount or its proportional income basis for these expenses. This means that a parent pays on the amount of their annual income in comparison to the other parent's annual income to take into account the difference in the incomes between the parents. For example, if one parent earns $60,000 a year and the other parent earns $110,000 a year, their total combined income is $170,000 a year. $60,000 is 35.3% of the total, and $110,000 is 64.7% of the total combined income of the parents in this example. Therefore, one parent would pay 35.3% of the extraordinary expenses, and the other parent would pay 64.7% of these expenses. A parent's contribution to extraordinary expenses is in addition to any child support that they are paying to the other parent. What parents can learn from Bogdan and his son Greg is that a parent can pay for even more extraordinary expenses for their child if they agree to such an expense because they truly believe the expense is necessary for their child. In Bogdan's situation, the court agreed that his son Greg should attend the private school to help deal with Greg's serious behavioral issues. However, the court recognized that the cost of the school was too much for the parents. The court still decided that the school was appropriate for Greg, since Bogdan and his father agreed to pay the full tuition for his son to attend the private school. Make sure you spend some time with your family lawyer discussing this important issue in your separation or divorce. If you have any questions about your separation, divorce, or family law case, and you would like our help, there's a few ways to contact our office. You can leave a message on my Facebook Law Office page, visit my website at www.canadiandivorcelegaladvice.com, or call me directly at 905-434-8837. We would be happy to speak to you. Oh, by the way, did you know you can protect your family law rights and get essential information on settling your family law issues with your former spouse with the daily, indispensable family law advice and tips on my free Facebook group? Go to Facebook and search Durham Region Separation and Divorce Legal Support Group in the top search bar. You'll find the group and join. Thanks for watching this video and have a fantastic week.